Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another breakfast chat. And today we're going to talk about straps. Very nuanced topic. And it came up because someone asked me in my comments, he actually sent me a DM, and he's like, well, I don't ever use straps because you said a long time ago not to use straps. Okay, let's get something out of the way. A lot of my views have evolved over the years. Here's something I have to remind people of all the time when they ask me questions. Every year that I coach, I would say that my knowledge of training and coaching doubles. It doubles. So at any given point, if you see a video I made a year before and you compare it to a video a year later, I have probably doubled the knowledge gained in that time. I know twice as much. Why would you use the older information? Why would you take someone, if there's a disagreement between two people, and in this case, the same person, because we change over time, one of them has more experience and knowledge and practical experience. You sure you want to listen to the one with less practical experience if there's a disagreement? I don't think that you should. In this case, it being me in both cases. My view on straps have changed. It's very, very dogmatic about completely raw stuff a long time ago. I was very dogmatic years ago. I've evolved. I've changed. I've learned that it is not in our best interest to be too dogmatic. It's not good. We got these straps here just to show you guys what I mean by lifting straps. Lifting straps, we use these when we can't grip the bar or when we don't want our grip to be trained or fatigued. Now, some people say, oh my God, you had that up. People always chime in with stuff like that. Oh, you had that where you're eating. Oh my God, that's so dirty. You're probably the sort of people who wear a mask while you're driving alone in your car. Okay? You need help. Let's get over to the straps. So, nuanced topic. When should we use straps? I'm going to honestly say, because of just it's so important for grip training, you probably shouldn't be doing straps for pull-ups, chin-ups, rows, things like that. Probably not a good idea unless your grip is so fatigued near the end of a training session that you can't do them. I get it that you're doing whatever, 10 sets of pulling in a workout, especially for people who maybe they do speed pulls and then they do a bunch of rows in the same workout. You know what, I might excuse it for your last few set of rows if your grip is giving out. Outside of that, again, see, we still made an exception. I would never use straps for pull-ups or chin-ups or rows personally. But I gave you guys an example of where it might still be appropriate. I wouldn't do it. Might be okay for you if that's what's necessary, but you are losing grip training. That stuff builds your grip. Deadlifting with the way that we normally grip the bar, meaning either hook grip or mixed grip, doesn't train your grip. And if you're deadlifting with double overhand, you're not training the deadlift. You will never get strong at the deadlift doing that. Why? Because you're just training your grip. It's a grip exercise. Literally world record level double overhand deadlifts are not impressive deadlifts. So understand that fact. The question becomes, when should we use straps? I would never use straps for speed work, for example. So on your speed pulls, it doesn't make sense to use straps. It's usually the best part of toughening your hands up to handle a deadlift bar or whatever knurling you're using is to do that. And again, the setup time, when you're doing speed pulls, they're 30 seconds apart. Having to put the straps on and off over and over, having you bent over all that time, you're bleeding energy, it's problematic. Your grip should not be failing on speed work. In fact, it could actually, again, if you're doing it with heavy bands, it might be the exception that there could be some grip training involved there. All right, messing with straps is not practical, though. It could be bleeding energy, wasting energy. You should be able to grip. If you have any grip strength, you should be able to grip the bar on speed work. So the question then we come down to maxes or rep work on deadlifts. For maxes, I think it depends on what you're trying to test. Because again, we test a lot of different deadlift maxes. If you follow my channel, I assume you follow the training advice I give, which means you're maxing on multiple types of deadlifts, not just your whatever regular conventional or sumo competition lift. You're maxing on variations. It's a separate lift. You can test with straps and you can test raw. Whether you choose to do mix or hook grip, that's a personal preference based upon what works better for you. I spent a lot of time trying to learn the hook grip. It never caught up to my mixed grip strength. My mixed grip strength was always better than my hook grip because I have short thumbs. Guys with longer thumbs, plenty of them do amazingly well. The hook grip ends up being the best thing they could do. But instead of doing one of those, you could choose to do some strap work. Why? Because you want to see what your deadlift would be if grip were not a factor, right? Because that will tell us a lot. Meaning, if you pull 550 on that lift with a mixed grip, but you can pull 600 with straps, your grip is definitely limiting you. Okay, so it's worth testing to find a weak link if you so choose. Figure out where you're weakest at. Now, what people need to understand, you're going to be stronger with straps though. It shouldn't be 50 pounds difference, but you should be stronger with straps on a deadlift. Why? Because it changes the bar path. It changes the way that you have to tighten up. Okay, and you're not using any energy on the grip side. So you're going to be stronger on deadlifts when you use straps. It should only be a small difference though. 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds. Shouldn't be 50. If it's 50, this is a sign that you need to grip work. So in this case, I'm going to recommend you could test both. Okay, you could do that as 2 different maxes that you're tracking when you're maxing out. The same variation with straps and without. I have no problem with testing those maxes for that. Just understand you may not be able to pull quite the same amount without the straps. Because it is a different exercise. It's not actually the exact same movement. Biomechanics change slightly when straps go on. So then what else are we left with? Rep work. I'm going to say, and again, I'm not talking to you novices who are doing a single set of 5, by the way. Novices, do not strap up. Work on your grip. Build your grip. Everyone else, on rep work, strap up. It keeps you from shredding your hands up. Okay. Now, people say, but I'm not getting my grip training in. Your grip is weak, you need to be doing specialized grip training anyways. Number 2, the main core of your grip training is all of your upper and middle back pulling, which you should be doing without straps. So we already laid out. Your pull-ups and your rows, guys. You should be doing that stuff without straps. That is the biggest chunk of your grip training. That will do more for your grip than deadlifting with a mixed grip or a hook grip will. You're not missing out. And if you need the extra grip work, do grip work. But at the end of the day, doing a bunch of rep work on deadlifts shreds your hands. If you're using a deadlift bar, you will be bleeding every time. And I'm not telling you to be a big pussy. And I'm not saying, oh, a little hand tearing, you're a pussy. This is not what I'm saying. And we shouldn't take it that way. But if we can avoid tearing our hands to get the same strength training in, we're better off. Because you know what? When you rip a callus open on your hand, it starts affecting your other lifts. Not only are you now in pain for several days while doing stuff outside of the gym, it's going to be harder to bench press. It's going to be harder to do rows. It's going to be harder to pull ups. Why? If you would have just strapped up, you could have avoided that. And again, if you're pulling for your rep work with a mix or a hook grip, which you should be doing anyways, you're not getting that much grip training anyways. You're not really missing out on enough to warrant the extra ripping of your skin of your hands. Why have the wear and tear? And particularly on a deadlift bar. Do a couple of really heavy 5-rep sets on a deadlift bar, raw. Right? You're going to be bleeding for no purpose. It just makes sense. It's practical to strap up for that. All right, guys. Well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.